Today we're talking about aerial diplomacy, or as the United States Air Force likes to call it, warheads on foreheads. And when it comes to delivering unhealthcare in bulk, Uncle Sam calls upon one thing: the B-52 Stratofortress. Also known as the Buff, which stands for the Big Ugly Fat Fella. Sorry, I'm not allowed to swear in the first 30 seconds of my videos or I get in trouble. Anyways, back to Buffy the Forehead Slayer over here. This thing is capable of carrying 35 tons of warheads at a time, going at a top speed of 650 miles an hour for up to 8,800 miles on a single tank of fuel. And if the target is more than 4,500 miles away, it's capable of aerial refueling, meaning it can leave America, go anywhere on the planet, blow anything up at once, and then come back. A great example of this is Operation Chrome Dome from God damn it. Who named that? Apparently the Air Force really wanted to set a tone back in the Cold War. Not only are they going to be putting warheads on foreheads, they're going to be dropping something so bright your hemisphere is going to be putting off reflections. Anyways, as you can see here, Operation Chrome Dome went from 1960 to 1968, where they basically kept B-52s in the air at all times, flying around the majority of the USA and the USC, also known as Canada. Those B-52s were equipped with nuclear warheads to engage the Soviet Union should the need arise. So yeah, we were helping to protect Canada and their universal healthcare with our universal unhealthcare. I feel like they should at least give us a free checkup or something. You know, on second thought, they are willing to fight grizzly bears to get us that tree-flavored Kool-Aid, so I guess we're even. Luckily, it's never come to using nuclear warheads, but even without nuclear warheads, the B-52 is a force on the battlefield. Above the battlefield? I don't know. Anyways, the Buff has been in use since 1955, and it's slotted to remain in use till after 2050. There's quite literally been fathers and sons that have flown the same exact plane. Longevity like that is due to its superior design, relative low cost compared to other bombers, and the Air Force maintainers that take an extreme amount of pride to keep these things in the air. Because at the end of the day, it might take a pilot with a college degree to fly this thing, but it takes an Air Force maintainer with a high school diploma to make this thing fly. So what does the B-52 do when it's not carrying nuclear bombs? That's easy, it's carrying a shit ton of regular bombs. Good old-fashioned bad guy to baloney mist technology. It's capable of carrying 84 500-pound bombs and dropping them basically all at once. I'm trying to tell you, the B-52 is like the Johnny Appleseed of freedom. No, the Johnny Freedom Seed. When he comes through to plant a forest of red, white, and blue woods, not only are the bad guys going to cease to exist, but you're going to have to hire a cartographer to update the topographical maps. Because Johnny's about to add a new terrain feature known as a coitus ditch, also known as a fucking hole. In conclusion, if you're a bad guy listening in on radio transmissions and you hear B-52, they're not playing bingo, but you are about to win a free cremation. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. We talked about the B-52, let's talk about more fatal bingo. This episode is brought to you by Patriot Beard Supply, where you can find my favorite beard oil, Spent Brass. It's like communism repellent. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're talking about the B-2 Spirit Stealth Bomber. If you don't know what that is, it's the fancy one for the movies that looks like a big spicy Dorito. The B-2 is capable of traveling 6,900 miles on a single tank of fuel, and if that's not enough, it's capable of refueling in the air without ever touching the ground. Meaning that it can leave America, go anywhere in the world, and come back without ever having to land on foreign soil. I'm trying to tell you it's playing a giant game of the metric system as lava and it's winning. But that's not what makes a B-2 special. What makes a B-2 special is how stealthy it is. The B-2 is made out of a graphite composite material that on a molecular level was designed to be lighter than aluminum and stronger than steel. It also absorbs most radar signals and blocks most heat signatures, meaning that this thing is borderline invisible. Which raises a question, how much money does it cost to build an aircraft from the molecule up? These things are $2 billion with a fucking B. And then they cost an additional $135,000 in maintenance for every hour they're in the air. And Uncle Sam has 21 of them. Well, had 21. We lost one in a training accident. Luckily, both pilots survived. They were able to eject out of the dick divot with cockpit. My bad. They were able to escape the cockpit via yeet seat in time. I'm trying to tell you, you better be happy Uncle Sam passed unhealthcare for all, because there's absolutely no way that your insurance is going to pay for this level of uncare. Now, all that begs the question, how much bang do you actually get for your buck? I'm gonna tell you right now, once the spicy Dorito opens up those double doors, it's gonna unlock the flavor of the sun real quick. You can put all your conventional warheads on foreheads. Nuclear warheads, 8,500-pound warheads, 16 2,400-pound warheads. But what sets the B-2 apart is it specifically had its own warhead designed for it. This is the Massive Ordnance Penetrator, or MOP for short, which is appropriate because this is what Uncle Sam uses to clean in all those hard-to-reach places. The B-2 is capable of carrying 2 of these, and it is a 30,000-pound warhead, capable of penetrating through 180 feet of reinforced concrete, or 120 feet of hardened rock. What I'm trying to tell you is even if you somehow saw the B-2 coming, which you wouldn't, but let's just say hypothetically, and you had the bright idea to, quick, let's go hide underneath that fucking mountain, it doesn't matter. All you've managed to do is drag an innocent mountain down with you. You and the mountain are gonna get aerosolized. They're going to be reduced to nothing more than an air unfreshener scent. Baloney Mountain Breeze. After a 30,000-pound warhead, there's going to be so little of you left, even the extended car warranty people aren't going to know how to reach you. Just for reference, this warhead is that big. And I know what you're thinking. Maybe I'll get lucky and they'll miss. It doesn't work like that. It's not like the movies where they just open the hatch door and let it go. They're not just going to Elsa that shit. This thing's equipped with forehead-seeking technology. This thing is more accurate than your mom with a sandal. Right between the eyes, every time. In conclusion, ignorance is bliss, and there's not a single cock carb on the... Dictator, I have to quit messing that up. There's not a single dictator on Earth that can sleep well at night knowing that the B-2 exists. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. Today we're talking about Fatal Bingo. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, America only utilizes 3 types of strategic bombers. And we've already talked about the world's spiciest Dorito, the B-2 Spirit, and the 70-year-old veteran of the sky, the B-52 Buff, aka Buffy the Forehead Slayer. And based on the poll I conducted this week, this is probably going to be pretty controversial, but I think I've saved the best for last. Okay, maybe best isn't the right word, but it's definitely my personal favorite. Ladies and gentlemen, the B-1 Lancer, aka the Bone.
Really?
See what they did there? B-1, B-1, Bone. Get it? Moving on. So why is it my personal favorite? Well, for starters, it was the only one that was nerfed with an international treaty. The B-1 was originally designed and capable of delivering nuclear warheads, but the Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty of 1991 specifically required that the B-1 only be capable of delivering conventional warheads. So why was the enemy so scared of the Bone? Well, because it was the fastest bomber that America had, and the only one capable of achieving supersonic flight, traveling at a max speed of Mach 1.2. It also had the highest payload capacity of any other American bomber. I'm trying to tell you that the Bone can carry more warheads than the B-52, and it can do it while traveling faster than the speed of sound. Believe me, I know that sounds insane, and I had to triple check it myself, but yes, the Bone can carry more bad guy to baloney miss technology than the B-52. 5,000 pounds more, to be exact. This aircraft is literally nothing but horsepower and gunpowder. And if that wasn't enough cool guy points, it's also the only bomber that has a variable swept wing configuration, which is just a bunch of fancy words that means it can extend its wings out to generate more lift when taking off and landing, or it can retract its wings when traveling at a supersonic speed to reduce drag. I'm trying to tell you that the B-1 can put the most warheads on the most foreheads the fastest, and it's basically a fucking transformer. This aircraft is quite literally the polar opposite of Bob Ross, ready to unpaint a happy little mountain at a moment's notice. Believe it or not, the B-1 was actually originally designed to replace the B-52. Essentially, they wanted a plane that could carry just as many bombs as the B-52, but travel much faster and specialize in low-level penetration. Yes, the plane referred to as the Bone has extendable wings and specializes in low-level penetration.
Giggity giggity, giggity goo.
Originally, this plane was actually a scrapped project deemed too expensive and a waste of taxpayers' dollars. The only reason it was brought back is because the B-2 stealth project was taking too long, and Uncle Sam figured if you can't be sneaky, you might as well be fast. Not getting caught is not getting caught. It doesn't matter how you do it. And with over 12,000 combat missions flown since 2001, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that was a good idea. Unfortunately, the B-1 is slotted for retirement in the coming years, pending the release of America's new bomber, the B-21 Raider, which is basically the B-2 2.0. Which raises the question, what would the B-1 2.0 look like? Well, we don't have to wonder because that concept was already proposed in 2004. Now, the prototype of the B-1 was known as the B-1A. The production model that we just talked about was known as the B-1B. What do you think the next variant would be named? Did you guess the B-1C? Because you would be wrong. Apparently, the E-4 Mafia got a hold of this concept and decided to convince their chain of command to skip a couple of letters because this concept aircraft is named the B-1 Regional, or the B-1R for short. Yes, they named it the Boner.
I got a boner.
I've never been more proud of the Air Force in my entire life. And while it is just a concept, allegedly, the Freedom Boner would specialize in low-level penetration and travel at a max speed of Mach 2.2. It would also be equipped with a plethora of air-to-air defenses, which would make it very hard to deal with. In conclusion, as much as I don't want it to be true, the B-1 is slotted for retirement, and will probably never grow and mature to be the full-blown Freedom Boner that it could be. There's always hope that the B-21 Raider project will take too long and Uncle Sam will get impatient. And then maybe, just maybe, the B-1R will become a reality.
Don't act like you're not impressed.
To quote Bob Ross, there are no mistakes, just happy accidents. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang, out.
that AC-130 is entering your airspace at this time. Out. Bravo 6, this is Warhammer standing by. Heard you could use some help down there. Call the shot.
Warhammer, fire mission, danger close. Enemy armor and infantry, 100 meters to the southwest of our location. Over.
Copy. Coming down.
Whoa, that's bloody outrageous, mate!
Bravo 6 will cover you all the way to the extraction zone. You better get moving.
Roger that, Warhammer. We're moving now. Out. Come on, let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the period of time between the Vietnam War and the Cold War created some of the deadliest and most awesome military equipment to ever grace the planet. Examples of this would include the commie-compacting juggernaut known as the M1 Abrams tank, the indestructible Gatling cannon with wings known as the A-10 Warthog, and the scariest aircraft on the planet, the AC-130. If you don't know, AC stands for Attack Cargo, which means they basically just put an artillery battery in a cargo plane. But not just any cargo plane, the C-130, a plane capable of going 300 miles an hour and 1,300 miles without needing fuel. It is powered by 4 Allison engines totaling over 17,200 horsepower. Yeah, horsepower. As in 746 watts of energy. I will literally measure in farm animals before I use the metric system. Ladies and gentlemen, this all got started when a bunch of grunts took a Douglas AC-47, also known as a Spooky, knocked the windows out of it and stuck cannons out the side during Vietnam, effectively doing a drive-by with a plane. After seeing how effective this tactic was, the United States government decided to upgrade it to the C-130, add better camera systems, night vision systems, and better guns. C-130s can be equipped with miniguns, Gatling cannons, auto cannons, regular cannons, Hellfire missiles, and fucking howitzers. However, the most common is for it to have a 30mm cannon and a 105mm cannon. Yeah, I know I said millimeter. Yes, I know that's metric. So yes, we do use the metric system for ammunition. But it's just a flex because we want to beat you at your own game. Because let's face it, if America starts manufacturing ammunition in twelfths, there's going to be a lot more than 50 stars on that flag. Now, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, this plane is literally just an artillery battery that is moving at 300 miles an hour, doing death donuts around the battlefield, lobbing 50-pound shells of ammunition at the enemy. And it can continue to do that for 1,300 miles. The AC-130's been given a lot of nicknames over time, such as Puff the Magic Dragon, the Spectre, the Ghost Rider. But after it destroyed over 10,000 enemy vehicles in Vietnam, it was given the name the Angel of Death. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the world's biggest unhealthcare system at its finest. These planes cost $210 million. And with the United States having over 50 of them, it's no wonder that the national debt is skyrocketing. Then again, when you have 50 AC-130s, who's really gonna come to collect? You've got a better shot at getting your bike back from Debo. So in conclusion, if by some miracle you manage to put the grunts on their heels, they will call up the Air Force and summon the Angel of Death itself. At which point you will become an anonymous smudge on the screen that is about to get erased forever. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed it.
Enemy AC-130 above!